I am so happy it's finally March. I am so happy that No Fun February is finally over because it's done. 28 days of hell is finally behind me. What's going on, everyone? I'm Jay, my channel Square Pegs. Those of you that have been around for the last month know what has happened is that I took part in a challenge set forth by retro rivals up in Canada. Scott and Jen do not buy anything in the month of February. And I thought, what the hell, I'll dive in on this one. I'll take part. How hard could it possibly be to not buy video games for a month? Turns out it's really damn hard. I was totally successful though. I wasn't successful. I failed. I only failed one time though. I failed one time. And there's a reason for it. We'll get to that at the end of the video. One of the things I did leading into this video is I made sure that my wish list was as up-to-date on price charting as possible, which means I could get tortured on the daily by the price charting. This is under the market value email bot by sending me things that people have put up for sale on the price charting website, things that I specifically want, that I specifically have on my wish list, and every day I got at least 25 emails from price charting. It was absolute torture looking through all the different things that were put up for sale. And I even dipped in on Facebook Marketplace as well, and yeah, we're gonna save the big ones for the end. There's some smaller stuff up front, and I will give you the stories as to why I would actually want them, but point and laugh at me, revel in my misery, enjoy the fact that I am able now to buy video games once again. The challenge has been lifted, and then I will show you the one game I actually bought this month. All right, straight off out the gate, you guys know I am putting together an N64 collection. Only, you know, I'm not a completionist. I don't buy everything just to have everything. I like to buy the games that I want to play, that I'm interested in, that I've heard good word of mouth on. And one of the things that I really want to own physically is Banjo-Kazooie, and it was put up this month for under 27 bucks on the N64. A physical cartridge of a great game. Now, yes, it's definitely available on the Nintendo Switch Online service right now, but who knows how long that's going to last. It could be pulled away next year. This could be a temporary thing. I mean, who knows? And if I have it physically, that means I can always play it. And that means I always have the option there to play it on the original hardware. So that one was hard to put on the shelf and to just not look at and not pick up because, again, man, like I was getting so many emails every day of just these heavy hitter games that I want to pick up. And this one was one of the ones that hurt the most because it's usually around 30, 35 bucks. And to have this sub $27 was tough to say no to. Sticking with the N64, next up was Zelda Ocarina of Time for $32. And I mean, it's a pretty good price. Like, I am not the biggest Ocarina of Time fan. I'm actually a bigger Majora's Mask fan, but it's something where I want to build an entire Zelda collection for my wife. I know Meredith's a huge fan of the series. It is her favorite video game series, and I'd really like to have that for her, to be able to put it all together so she's able to play whatever game she wants to. Now, again, this game is offered in multiple different ways. It's available on the Nintendo Switch Online service. I have Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS, but again, original hardware, original game release. Just, that's how I am, man. I'd like to add this to the N64 collection. All right, this one might get some folks to shake their heads, but Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. Now, I love the Clone Wars animated series. I think it's probably my favorite Star Wars. I mean, I've seen everything multiple times for Star Wars, you know, forwards, backwards, upside down. I know it, and Clone Wars was the thing that spoke the most to me. I love all the characters in it, and the Lego games are some of my favorites, and this was under 10 bucks. Like, this one I could have bought and I could have forgiven myself by saying, you know what, no, it's under 10, don't worry about it, this is fine. $8.99, complete in box, a game that I've wanted to pick up for a while and I just never see out in the wild. To see this come through and to say, no, I can't get it, that one hurt. I need to check and see if it's still available now that it's March because I would really like to get it. All right, this one didn't hurt too bad because I do have the ability to play it digitally, and yeah, Bravely Default for 36 bucks, complete in box, something I traded in a while ago. I just didn't have an interest in the game anymore at the time, and it's one of those things where you trade it in and you kind of immediately regret it. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And I would like to get it back into the collection because I love the 3DS. You guys know how much I love the DS and the 3DS, and I would love to get that back in the collection because it's just such a wonderful JRPG and such a fantastic game system. It's so unique in the way it plays, and physical's the way to go, you know? Like, I would love to be able to have this physically because if I buy it digitally and something happens to my 3DS and I'm not able to download it onto another one, then the money's just out the window. But if I have it physically, I'm good to go. All right, this one is really cool, and I actually didn't know this one existed until I was putting together the wish lists. You guys know I just got my Game Boy Color upgraded. Chris from Game Dad put in the new screen, and Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 were released on one cartridge for the Game Boy Color, and this one was up for sale on price charting for $44.99. Now, it is just the cartridge only. It's not complete in box or anything like that, so it's a little bit steep for me. Like, it's not something that I'm probably going to pull the trigger on, but it was something that at least piqued my interest. And to know that it's out there, and to know that maybe there will be an opportunity down the road, maybe at Midwest Gaming Classic. Hey, if you're going, find me there. I will happily give you a sticker, take a picture, say hello. It's coming up at the end of April. Cannot wait to see folks again. Last year's was so amazing, and I cannot wait to go back. The whole family will be there on Sunday. I will be there on Saturday and Sunday. I'm a massive SNK fan, and Metal Slug is one of my favorite franchises that they make. Metal Slug 7 was released on the DS, and I wasn't aware of that. Again, kind of like the Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, I didn't know that this was a thing that even existed until I was putting together my wish lists for this month. And to see it come through, I was really excited to know it's out there, because DS stuff can be kind of spotty. You can either find it very readily, or it's going to be very difficult to get your hands on, and to see it complete in box and offered at least gave me the hope that moving down the road I'll be able to pick it up some other time. Wasn't a bad price either at $58.75. Now, I know that might seem a little high for a DS game, but for something that is an SNK classic, for something that a lot of people might not have on hand and is going to be hard to find down the road, I don't mind paying that for a game I know I'm going to love. This one I totally knew existed, and this is Final Fantasy V Advance. This is one I just missed out on before. I've got Final Fantasy VI Advance, I've got Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls Advance, I've got Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I buy a lot of Final Fantasy stuff just because I love the franchise so much, and I knew this game existed, but I just missed out on it at the time. I didn't pick it up when it released, and by the time I was ready to get it, it was gone and it was hard to find. Again, this is one that's just a cartridge, but at $59, it's not a terrible price for the game. It's something where, again, one game might seem a little bit pricey, but when I look at modern games that I pay the same amount for, I don't get as many hours out of as I would out of a Final Fantasy game. I don't mind it so much. Moving on to a GameCube game, and that is Battalion Wars. Now, Battalion Wars is the evolution of Advance Wars. This is kind of where the series was targeted to go, and it just didn't quite pick up the steam that Advance Wars had on the DS and the Game Boy Advance. Now, it's a really interesting game. It's a real-time strategy, and it's fun. Like, I love Battalion Wars 2. I've got it on the Wii. I just have never picked up the version on the GameCube, and it's something that I would love to add to the collection because I want to have the entire Advance Wars collection. I just love those games so much. Like, as much as I love Fire Emblem, Advance Wars supersedes that in like every way. Advance Wars is just my stuff. $30 complete in box for a GameCube game is not terrible. GameCube prices are going through the roof right now. To get something that is a first-party Nintendo release from a series that I enjoy for under $50 on the GameCube, it was hard to resist that, man. This one is just nostalgia for me. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction is a memory game. This is something I used to play at EA with a bunch of my friends. Johan told me about it. He was the initial person to tell me how great it was, and it was something that I really wanted to try out. And it's for the original Xbox. It's $18 complete in box. And if you've never played The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, it is a game that is absolutely worth picking up because it holds up today. It had fully destructible environments. You played as the Hulk. You were able to just run through and wreck shop throughout all these massive environments and just take out the enemy forces. It was a lot of fun, and it really gave a lot of building blocks to games we see nowadays into what their physics engines were doing and how they were able to build these destructible environments and things like that. Like, it's not like a spectacular game. It's not something that I think everyone needs to rush out and play, but it is something that to me meant a lot, and it's something I would like to add back into my collection. I used to own it. I don't own it anymore. And again, this was a hard one to pass up on, but $18, it's a good price. It's pretty regularly for sale though, so I wasn't too worried about this one, but I just wanted to call it out because I like the game so much. Okay. Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon on the Game Boy Advance. Had no idea it existed until I was putting together the wish list. And Shining Force games are stupid expensive, and this one is no different. This is cartridge only, $64, and that's a lot. Like, it's funny because I say the $58.75 for Final Fantasy V wasn't a lot, but $64 for this game is, and I mean, it is because I love Shining Force, don't get me wrong, but it's not a series that I've gone out of my way to collect for. It's something I'd like to collect now, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, you know? And this is a game that I would like to add because, I mean, I love the Game Boy. I want to be able to play things on my Game Boy Advance that I've never played before, and this is one of those games. And it would be great to add, but this is one that I would probably had a little bit of pause on to spend the money on, because $64 for a game that I don't know how it is, I don't know how good it is, from a series I don't actively collect for, I probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger on it, but to see it come up as an offer over the month was something I was interested in. It was something I thought was at least interesting enough to share with you guys. Alright, back to the N64, and this one hurts. So, this is Paper Mario, the original Paper Mario, probably the second best Paper Mario behind Thousand Year Door, and this is one where, for me, I want to get this back in the collection just because this was Meredith's first game that she played. I mean, she had played Tetris and stuff like that, but this was like her first deep game that she played. I remember coming home, I was working at EA at the time, and I came home to our townhouse that we were renting, and she was up in the loft, sitting in, I think, one of our camp chairs, and just playing Paper Mario on our 64 at the time, and she loved it, and it was the first game she played through and beat that was more than just like a Tetris or something like that, and it's an important game in our relationship and who both of us are as gamers, because that kind of gave me a clue as to the games that I think she would get into, and that's where she's at today, is games like that she loves. And I would love to get it back. Alright, here's one. This is Shovel Knight for the Wii U. And this is one I would like to add just because physical is the best. I own Shovel Knight digitally on a lot of platforms. The Wii U, the Switch, the PS4, PC. I might even have it on other ones. I'm not sure. Oh, on my 3DS, I've got it there. But this physically on the Wii U, now, yeah, it's double dipping, and I understand that. You don't need to buy it physically if you own it digitally for the Wii U, but again, it's security, right? Like, digital storefronts make me very nervous, and this is such a great game and something that I love so much. I would love to add it to my physical Wii U collection, and this wasn't a bad price either, $43.75. Pretty good price. If this had been offered in March, I probably would have pulled the trigger on it. I haven't seen it come back up yet. I mean, again, it's March 1st, so there's 30 more days to go, but if it comes back up this month, I will probably pick this one up. Alright, this one is specifically for Gary from Rock Solid. I am doing a video this month. Gary and I have an ongoing feud where I wear my hat slightly askew and he puts Yoshi music in his videos because I hate singing Yoshi so flippin' much. And I'm actually doing a video where I am going to be ranking all the Yoshi games later this month, and I would like to add Super Mario Land 2 Yoshi's Island to the collection physically, just so I can have it. Probably to torture myself a little bit, I don't know. This one was offered at $40.50, and this is available on the SNES Online, so I don't really need to buy it, but I'd like to have it, and just because this is something for me and Gary, I guess. Alright, I'm going to give you guys the one thing I actually did buy this month. Wasn't thinking, and there's a good reason behind it. So my friend Chris from Game Dad, I talked about him earlier with the Game Boy Color, he has joined the Whatnot service. And Whatnot is, if you don't know, is a video auction service where you are able to put stuff up for sale. It's quick bidding processes, and people are able to bid and purchase things, and the shipping is a very affordable rate. And yeah, Chris was having a sale one day, and I decided that, yeah, you know what, I'm going to tune in, I'm going to take a look at it, and I bought Destroy All Humans for the PS2. Now, there's a reason for it. It was Chris's first auction. I was really excited for him to be there, and I had $10 in credit. It wasn't like it was actual money. It was credit that Whatnot gave to me. So yeah, I wanted to pick this up because, I mean, I failed. Like, straight up, I failed. I didn't win at all. I failed completely in this challenge, but at least it was only one thing. It only cost me $4, so I don't feel too bad about that, because $4 really is I mean that's okay. It's not like it's a real game purchase. It's only $4, right? All right, let's talk about the heavy hitters now. All right, so first and foremost is one of my all-time favorite games on the Super Nintendo, and this one is a pipe dream to get complete in box, and this is something that the price it's at, yeah, I probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger on, but $300 for Final Fantasy III complete in box is... that one's tempting. If I was at a convention and I saw it at that price and I had the money and I hadn't picked anything else up and I was about to go out the door, I probably would get it at that price. And I know my wife is probably throwing things at the TV screen right now as I say this, but it's that important of a game to me. It's that much of a landmark game to me in my collection that I would love to add it back because I love it so much. Again, $300 is a lot of goddamn money, but it's that important to me. I would love to add it. Okay, now one of the things I am on the lookout for is something specifically for the original Final Fantasy on the NES. I have the cartridge, I have the manual, I have the box, but I don't have the maps that came with it, and it's something I've been looking for a while. And wouldn't you know it, they came up for sale this month on Price Charting, and for like an absolutely fantastic price too, $60. And I know for some people they might go, what? Why would you spend $60 on maps? But for one, it would make my copy complete in box, which is something I very much want and something I would very much like to add to my collection because Final Fantasy is kind of the game that made me a JRPG fan, and I would like to add that complete to my collection, and because having all that stuff together, I mean, it just feels right, you know? Like, I know I have enough of a version of the game where I can play it and I can enjoy it, and I will play it and I will enjoy it, but not having those maps, it just doesn't feel correct, man. Like, I want to have the whole thing, I want to get the whole thing together and have it in one space. And yeah, this one hurt. This is the one I'm gonna have to keep looking for and see if I can find it throughout this month or in the coming months, or maybe at the Midwest Gaming Classic if anyone has anything like that for sale. Hopefully, we'll see. Now we have 3 consoles that went for sale, and I'm gonna save the one that was the absolute slap in the face for last, because yeah, Facebook Marketplace really got under my skin this month. At the start of the year, I did my wishlist video where I said these are the specific things I'm looking forward to picking up this year. And like back to back to back, I had 3 of them on 3 different days at the start of the month. With February 1st being the absolute worst. But there was a Sega CD Model 2, which would go with my Model 2 Genesis perfectly, so I could actually complete my Tower of Power, offered on price starting for $110. And that one was nearly impossible to resist because it was the cheapest of the 3 systems that was offered. It was the one that would have given me the most tangible completion right then. Having all 3 of those things together to be able to complete the ultimate Genesis setup would have been really awesome. 110 bucks, I mean, it is a lot of money. It is something that I don't feel bad missing on, but still at the same time, it was like the third of the 3 items I'm going to tell you. I'm kind of going backwards, 3, 2, 1 here, but this is the third of the 3 items offered that I just kind of went, you have to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. The second one, though, the second one really hurt, and that was a Sega Master System offered up on Facebook Marketplace with Altered Beast, Super Hang-On, and Outrun for $135, and that was February 2nd. Like, it was just, oh my god, like the second day of the month I get hit with this, and it was just like, you have to be kidding me. I want to get a Master System. I desperately want a Master System. It's something I've wanted since I was a kid and I've never had, and I would love to get it just to be able to play Master System games for the first time in my life. Like, I've always wanted to and I've never been able to do it. So I was not able to get this. This is when I was still very, very strong in my regard. I must complete this month. I will not buy anything. If this had been offered up on February 25th or 26th, yeah, all bets would have been off. I'd have bought it, and I'd have bought it like that, like no joke. I was very weak at the end of the month, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very weak. Number 1, with a bullet though. First time I have seen this offered, and I have this set up as an alert on Facebook Marketplace. I have this as one of my default searches saved, where if it shows up, I find out about it. A Sega Saturn, man, for 150 bucks, February 1st, at like 1:30 in the morning. So like not even like at noon or anything like that. No, it was like immediate, like boom, yeah, you're getting screwed this month, Jake. Like, came with the cords, came with a controller, came with Daytona USA. I have not seen a Sega Saturn offered on my local Facebook Marketplace in a year. Like, legit, in over a year. And the last time I saw one offered, it was for over 200 bucks. To see one now offered for 150? Yeah, that was, no, I did not like that at all. But there you have it. My recap of my month that was no fun February. Let me know in the comments down below what you would have broken the streak for. Probably wasn't Destroy All Humans, but that's the one I lost out on. I did not complete it successfully. I was a failure. I probably should have broken my commitment for that Sega Saturn, but yeah, I have regrets. Let me know in the comments down below what thing you would have broken the streak for, what you would have actually picked up and said, you know what, forget No Fun February. Scott and Jen, thank you for putting this out there into the universe. I was happy to participate. It was a lot of fun. I mean, no, fun's the wrong word. It wasn't fun at all. It was torturous, but I was happy to participate and be along there with you guys. And I haven't watched your video to see if you guys were successful yet, but I'm going to go do that after I'm done filming this because I didn't want to sway my video here at all. Please hit like, please subscribe if you're new around here, and hey, if you really dig the work I do, consider becoming a monthly Patreon sponsor like the awesome folks you're seeing on screen right now. Patrons get ad-free access to my videos for a donation as little as $1 a month. If you really dig the work I do, consider picking up some of my merchandise at squarepegsyt.com. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending some time with me today. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.